What made a ship Viking? Viking ships were marine vessels of unique structure, used in Scandinavia from the Viking Age throughout the Middle Ages. The boat types were quite varied, depending on what the ship was intended for, but they were generally characterized as being slender and flexible, with symmetrical ends with true keel. They were clinker built, which is the overlapping of planks riveted together. Some might have had a dragon's head or other circular objects protruding from the bow and stern for design, although this is only inferred from historical sources. Viking ships were used both for military purposes and for long-distance trade, exploration and colonization. In literature, Viking ships were usually seen divided into two broad categories: merchant ships and warships, the latter resembling narrow war canoes with less load capacity but higher speed. However, these categories are overlapping. Some transport ships would also form part of war fleets, as rule ship lanes in Scandinavia followed coastal waters, hence the majority of vessels were lighter design, while a few types, such as the Krar, could navigate the open ocean. The Viking ships ranged from the Baltic Sea to far from the Scandinavian homelands, to Iceland, the Faroe Islands, Greenland, Newfoundland, the Mediterranean, the Black Sea and Africa. One particular advantage of the Viking ship is the comparatively low weight, making land transport and portage possible but rare, as in crossing Jutland instead of rounding Skagen to enter or exit the Baltic Sea and travel on the river networks of Eastern Europe. The ship has been functioning as the centerpiece of Scandinavian culture for millennia, serving both pragmatic and religious purposes, and its importance was deeply rooted in the Scandinavian culture when the Viking Age began. Scandinavia is a region with relatively high inland mountain ranges, dense forests, and easy access to the sea with many natural ports. Consequently, trade routes were primarily operated via ship, as inland travel was both more hazardous and cumbersome. Many stone engravings from the Nordic Sea, and in particular the Nordic Bronze Age, depict ships in various situations, and valuable ships were sacrificed as part of ceremonial, votive offerings since at least the Nordic Age, as evidenced by the Hortspin and the Namp boats. The Viking Age saw the first local developments of trading ports into forts and coastal towns, all of which were deeply dependent on the North Sea and the Baltic Sea for survival and growth. Control of the waterways was great economic and political importance, and consequently ships were in high demand. Because of their overwhelming importance, ships became a mainstay of the Viking religion, as they evolved into a symbol of power and prowess. The Hedeby coins, among the earliest known Danish currencies, have impressions of ships as emblems, showing the importance of a naval vessel in the area. Through such cultural and practical significance, the Viking ship progressed into the most powerful advanced naval vessel in the Viking Age Europe.